I had a breakthrough this morning, the kind that happens when no one is watching, and I saw everything so clearly. I'm not talking about when the alarm went off. It was 6 a.m. I'm on holiday in a caravan. It's raining heavily. The alarm had woken me up completely in the wrong part of my sleep cycle. So naturally, I just wanted to go straight back to sleep. And I would very easily if I just rolled over and closed my eyes. So I pressed the snooze button, thinking that I could squeeze in 10 more minutes of sleep and still get up before my kids woke me into chaos. Pressing snooze is something that I haven't done in many years. In that moment where I thoughtlessly reached out and pressed it, I wasn't aware of any reasons at all why it was worth leaving my comfortable bed and starting the day early. Not a single reason. But as soon as I pressed it, something triggered inside me and it felt wrong. Straight after I pressed the snooze, I heard a whisper. In the back of my mind, it was trying to tell me that I'd worked really hard for something. What I'd worked for, the early starts, everything that they represented, everything that I'd created in those small hours wasn't a permanent state. And by pressing snooze, by closing my eyes again, I'd be sending myself back to sleep, back into old habits. And there's a small risk that I'd lose the incredible progress that I'd made over many years. And yes, I know that it sounds extreme, but I just knew that this moment was important, life-changing, in fact. And there was something in that whisper that told me I absolutely had to get up right then. Not in 9 minutes when the alarm repeated, or in 2 minutes after I'd enjoyed the comfort of stretching, lying down in my cosy bed. Even if my mind was too tired and foggy to articulate a single reason why. So, in that moment that I decided to rise anyway, I thought about all the books I'd read and listened to, all the advice from world leaders through their podcasts, live streams and social posts, all the soul-deep conversations I'd had with myself over the last years and particularly months since I started getting out of bed, just 5 to 10 minutes before my children woke me to chaos. And now it's hours. And that's exactly what we build in the Spark Circle, a rhythm, that remembering, that real life rise. The link's below if you are ready to join us. So I focused and got to work putting all of these practices into action. The first thing I did was sit up, simply so that I didn't fall back to sleep again. That's how tired I was. Next, my water, which I had to get out of bed for and walk across the room because I'm on holiday in an unfamiliar room and that is where the water was. From there, I saw my mat. It's a bed of nails. I brought it with me from home. I stood on that. Sharp discomfort woke the soles of my feet. As it started to energise my whole body into awareness, that's when it all started to come flooding back. My why, not just for family, for self-care, all of the reasons that have kept me getting out of bed day after day, earlier than I could have ever imagined. It was all there. I'd got my clarity back in less than 2 minutes. That's how quickly you can collapse timelines, transform from past identity to a new one. And if you're listening and you're feeling this, if something in your body just clicked, don't wait for Monday or September or next year. Come into the Spark Circle right now. There's a space already carved out for you. So everything from this point became so much easier. Next, the cold shower. More clarity came into focus as soon as the freezing water attacked me. I brushed my teeth, I got dressed, I put my makeup on. I just kept going through these daily habits that I've been building for years, day by day, to this point. Habits that mean I'm ready to face any challenges the day has in store for me. And most importantly, I am deeply present as a mother the moment my children wake up and begin their day. I looked in the mirror and there she was, a version of me that promises to herself she is going to show up every day, raw, real, and ready to take on anything. No excuses, only purpose. She isn't the person who pressed snooze just 20 minutes before. This is the first time I've had a breakthrough. It's not the first time I've had a breakthrough. When I stepped into the freezing shower this morning, I remembered last Christmas. Not just the day, the whole festive season that starts around Halloween. A similar transformational shift happened. This refers to my diet. And I say a diet only because there's not really a better word there's not really a better word than diet. So I've been significantly redefining my diet since 2018, 7 years ago. And my goal is to eat only whole foods. No refined sugar, zero ultra processed food. In fact, any minimal processed food that I do wish to eat now, I make myself. Bread from ancient grains and Celtic salt. Yogurt from gold class milk and full fat cream. I will eat cheese if I've fermented it myself from milk and pressed it through a cheesecloth. But when did I know for sure that being ultra healthy was my unshakable new identity? That I wasn't just going to fall back into old habits of eating some chocolate and then realising I'd eaten a whole family box of Maltesers to myself. And yes, I used to do this regularly, even as a consistent size 6. I think it's a fear I always had, that all my hard work could dissolve in a moment of weakness. This fear was born from real actions. After having months of discipline, Christmas would arrive and I would eat just one celebration from the coffee table while we all played those family games like charades and the infamous flower game. Last Christmas was the first time that I didn't eat a single chocolate, mince pie, piece of Christmas cake, a bright yellow snowball cocktail. Was my Christmas any less magical, fun, tasty even? No. It was better. I was living in my own truth. I understand that this isn't for everyone. Maybe it's too extreme. But for me, it was everything that I needed to become the version of myself I've been working on for so many years. To have that identity shift, even at Christmas. And as difficult as it was to say no to every single little Christmas treat, in those micro moments where my hand would involuntarily reach to the celebration box for a single Malteser celebration, in these moments, the act of saying no, so simple, was the key to my transformation in healthy eating. And it is simple, but I will never say that it's easy. It's not. It is incredibly hard. But I can do hard things, and so can you. So there are two things that I'd like you to take away from this. Firstly, that it's simple. The decision to change can only happen in one micro moment in time. The present. That's the sacred flicker of life that exists between past and future. I say it's simple. It doesn't mean it's easy. In fact, it's one of the hardest things that you'll do. But once done, you'll feel it. You'll know the impact that small, simple action makes. You might have to fight against every instinct in your body and mind simultaneously. But know that what comes afterwards is your desired transformation. Secondly, does it have to be all or nothing? I can't speak for anyone else, but for me, yes. The moment I stop leaning into discomfort and start falling back into comfort, I sense a complete shift. The new identity that I'm working on feels like it could fall away in an instant. I feel myself spiraling backwards when I make that choice into comfort. Now, the example that I talked to you about with Christmas and eating a single chocolate or mince pie. Taking that difficult step, I enjoyed the whole festive period without a traditional treat. And I do feel like that changed something permanent in me. I don't know whether I'll ever eat a chocolate celebration again. Probably not. Will I ever eat a mince pie? I think I will. But the mince pie I eat, it will be homemade with the best ingredients, and it will be eaten with devotion and joy, with only the best brandy butter or extra thick cream. I feel that my extreme early rising habit is still relatively new. I can't be sure it's fully established. Noticing that I could easily slip back into old, comfortable habits is what made me stop and think this morning. It's not that I'll never have another lie-in past 5 a.m, but I know it's not a decision that I can make in the moment from the lens of tiredness. So yes, I've had a breakthrough this morning, and that changes everything. This is my truest story yet. I send stories like this every month in my Spark letter. It's free, it's powerful. It's made for moms who are ready to shift. Sign up below. I'd love to have you with us. The first Spark letter for this summer will arrive in your inbox shortly after signing up. I'll see you inside.